Anyways, good evening. Welcome to our little chill live stream. Thank you for joining me tonight. I've had a lovely holiday in Cornwall where I basically upset the locals down there by putting cream first on my scone and jam on the top. That really did offend the Cornish, I tell you, but it was fun, very much indeed. So thank you to everyone who's contacted me whilst I was away, and I really appreciate it. We will talk about the changes to my channel and this live stream tonight. But first, I want to welcome Zinzan, Brett, John, Barry, Simon, Luke, and Jim. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I hope you've all had a very good week. So, so a lot of you know, and I can I say it's been public but private. I've been going around people that I trust, people that know things, people that support me as a channel. I received an email just before I went on holiday from I presume it's a woman who's now in charge or part of a team who's now running Airfix since Dale has left and James has left and other people have left. So this new team, they've been around for a while, and she asked me to remove the Airfix from Airfix and Chill, and to remove the Airfix logo from my channel banner. Now, I was a bit taken aback, and I thought I shared the history of Airfix and Chill and my channel to her in words, and I explained that the term Airfix and Chill was a term that I kind of came up with as a joke with a group of us YouTubers. And I said, I'm going to live stream tonight. Do you fancy coming on? And I'm going to do a bit of Airfix and Chill. And the name Airfix and Chill came from what can I call it? Not Gen Z, is it? You know, this generation who used the term Netflix and Chill, which basically you go around, put Netflix on, and you spend the night kissing your girlfriend and, you know, getting to second, third, fourth base. Like, you know, it had a kind of funny ring to it. And that's when I started doing Airfix and Chill, and it kind of stuck. And 180 episodes on, we have a Monday night get together, don't we? And we talk about scale modeling. And I talked about my relationship with Airfix because 5 years ago, I was doing Airfix videos with a kind of twist of nostalgia. I was looking at vintage classic kits and reviewing them and telling people about these kits. And then I was doing the box reviews for Airfix. And all I was pleading really was, and I got this impression that people have been bitten by Airfix in the past, that kits weren't what they were. And I had this mantra that I wanted Airfix to win. You know, I wanted them to create models that would be up there with Tamiya. And I believe that they cracked it, that they were winning. They were winning. The models were the only thing that was pulling them back was quality control. Dale joined Airfix, and one night I was watching the Interesting Modeling Company to see who this Dale was. And Dale said, "Is that Moz? Can you contact me? I'll need to speak to you." And I thought, here we go. You know, what have I done? Because I'm that kind of person. I always catastrophize. Is that the word? Things. And he said, we watch your videos. We love what you're doing. Can you come to the Spitfire Day in Duxford? And so I said, oh, yeah, I'd love to. So I thought I was going to see Spitfires. And the bugger didn't tell me this. But he did warn me and said, anything you do today, you can film for your channel or for Twitter, Instagram, everything. And they put this on the screen. They were releasing a 1/24 scale Spitfire. So I was the only creator there, and I was filming all this, and I was lapping it up, you know. And then that was the time when I asked Dale, why don't you do enough space? Where's the space to, you know? And there it is, you know. And that's my history. And I've built a friendship with the team, with Brooke. Brooke was there at the time, with Dale, with Luke. I got to know Matt. And over the years, I started to know the team. And a lot of them have come on to Airfix and Chill to talk about Airfix. And I explained all this to her. And she did say, we haven't got a problem with that. We appreciate what you've done. Just remove the logo from your banner and Airfix, and we don't want to be associated with it. And I was like, wait, that's unfair. You know, I'm using my channel. And so there was a little bit to and fro. And then I got another email. So what I did was I didn't live stream last week. The Airfix and Chill before, we just removed the Airfix from it and just added something and Chill. And so I'm in the position now where I have to make a choice now on whether I fight this, which will probably end up going to court and whatever, or do I just go to where I'm loved? Okay. So if Airfix don't really want me, or they don't want, you know, the logo on my header, or they don't want this to be called Airfix and Chill anymore, then I'm going to have to just say, look, folks, it's not worth the aggravation, sort of thing. Saying that, what I've done is I've changed. Now, if you don't know how YouTube works, my logo is the round logo on YouTube. And then what we have is called a header, a channel banner. Now, that channel banner is your shop window. So if you look on my channel banner, it will say Moz 6510 Models, helping you to become a better scale modeler. That's my valued proposition. That's what it's called, a value proposition. But people don't particularly read. They look with their eyes. And so I have the logos of Revell, Tamiya, and now I've got Hella, obviously. We're going to talk about that later, and Academy. And I had Humbrol tins, I had Tamiya tins, I had, I think it's a Revell model and a Airfix model on there, some sprues, and what was it? Airbrushes and some snips. So visually, when you see that, you know my channel instantly is a scale model channel about scale modeling. It's a valued proposition to somebody who's watching. And I said, and so I removed the logo like they asked, but I put a box art up there. Well, she calls it a pack shot, which, you know, I don't think they understand scale modeling, because we all know that's box art. And because it's still got the logo in it, she wants me to take it down. But I'm kind of stepping a little bit up here. I'm going to say, I think that's fair use. Okay, that's fair use. And there's one other thing I need to explain here. I do have the rights to use the Airfix logo and IP and box arts. I am an affiliate of Airfix. They invited me years ago. Well, first it was Tag, I think they used, and they've used this other company as well now. And in the terms and conditions, they give me permission. They can revoke that permission through Partnerize, through the company I use, but they have given me permission, and they've given me a folder of every brand under, well, most of the brands under the Hornby banner: Airfix, Corgi, Humbrol, Scalextric, and Hornby Trains. So in theory, going by the terms and conditions, I can use their logos to promote their brand, and I do. That's why in every video there's an affiliate link underneath that says, pours out and says, if you want to buy Airfix kits, click this link and it'll take you to the Airfix website. If you purchase something, I get a small commission. So I believe I have the rights. One thing I will mention though is that she's saying that I can't use their trademark. This is what she writes. It is, of course, acceptable to use those pack shots in the videos themselves when you are discussing the products, but the appearance of our trademarks in the banners and titles would suggest some sort of formal authorization for their use, which is not the case. Whether it's authorization or not, I'm damn sure that we have fair use in this. But I'm not a lawyer. In the bottom of every video I do, there's a disclaimer about people who come onto the show, that their opinions, thoughts, what they say doesn't necessarily reflect the views of this channel. And there is a fair use underneath saying for research, for education, or whatever. I have that free use for that as well. So, but I don't want an argument. I really don't want to be bitch slapped up and down. You know, I love my house. Okay. I'm making the decision to step back. I will still review Airfix kits. In fact, I've bought a bundle this week to do a review on to see what the new mystery bundle is, or last week it was. I'm saying there's no need for a witch hunt. There is no witch hunt here. There are people who work within Hornby that are I class as friends or acquaintances. I want them to succeed because that's what scale modeling is all about. We want the vast diverse choices we have, whether it's military, civilian, whether you want to do dinosaurs or whatever, little figures. I promote scale modeling. So I think I've covered everything here. Am I heartbroken by this? Of course I am. I feel that they just don't want to. I don't know what I've done personally, why they don't want to be known as, you know, or want to be advertised. And remember, a lot of this is pretty much advertised. You know, if you Revell, I've spoken to Revell, spoken to Hella, and they're happy for their logos to be on my channel because they're scale modeling companies. Same as if I was a channel about technology and about repairing technology, I'll probably have an iPhone or an Apple or an Android or something logo in my banner so that people can visually see this channel is about repairing modern technology. So, yes, I understand it all. I want to say thank you to everybody who supported me in this. This is my choice now. I'm going to leave the box art up on the header. I won't put the Airfix logo in the live stream anymore. Okay. But there will be a Revell, Hella, Tamiya, Mini Art. I'm going to have all of the other brands in the thing because they all sell model kits. And hopefully they'll appreciate that I'm trying to push the scale modeling community on. So I'm sorry I've blabbed on for the last 14 minutes. But I wanted everyone to know. But I don't want to witch hunt. I don't want you to, you can have your own say on this and how you think on this. I'm going to go back for. I'm having a time of reflection, and you'll see a lot more from me in regards to other unboxings I'm doing. I'm going to focus on everybody, and particularly those who love me, who want to partner with me. Like, here you go, Gallery want to partner with me. You know, these companies that want me to promote their brand. So, all right, I hope that says everything. I don't think I do have to remove any of the logos from a previous video. I think there's a line in the sand, and I think I'm going to work on with that. But the only other thing I'm going to say is that there's a lot of groups out there called the Airfix Modeling Group. You've got Airfix Constant Scale. You've got pages on Facebook and on Instagram who have Airfix in their title because they're scale modelers who like Airfix. Just be careful when you start using their logo because they don't want you to, unless you pay. I suppose they want me to pay for a license or something. I don't know. But at the moment, for me, I'm going by my agreement with Hornby, and that includes if Corgi want me to do some reviews for their stuff, I'll do Corgi reviews. If Poca want me to do Poca, I'll do Poca. You know, it's scale modeling, and I'll use that and use the affiliate links. So there you are. So sorry, it's been a bit of a start to it, but I know those are the comments, and I really agree. And I thank you all for your support. But that's the reasons why we're changing it, and we need a new channel name. So any ideas, email me them. I can use, according to a trademark specialist, I can use air fixing and chill, because air fixing is like hoovering. It's an act of doing something. And if you go on Google and look up air fixing, it actually does say it's the process of building plastic model kits or generic model kits. So it's like a broad term for scale modeling. And it was used a lot in the 70s and the 80s. So whether we keep it as air fixing and chill, I don't know. So there you are. So there you are. That's basically the story behind it. All right. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Anybody got questions?
Yeah, I find it just a little bit bizarre. If you consider the videos that I put out on behalf of the club, I mostly build Airfix kits. So if I do a video of Airfix kits, I use Airfix box art. There's never been a problem. It's probably because the channel is so small that it floats under the radar.
Yeah.
I can't see a problem with them saying that every single YouTuber has to not have their Airfix brand in the back of their background or on the desk in front of them when they're doing a review, because they bought that kit themselves. And personally, they can't say boo about that, because that's your own personal kit. And if you want to review it, and if you give it a goddamn 10 out of 10, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's an element of divide and conquer here, which you might argue is the way that they would choose to go. I think the benefits of going after everybody will be massively outweighed by the cost. And your point about the Copyright Design and Patents Act and fair use, I think, is absolutely clear. I think I could fairly successfully argue that with the exception of myself, everybody here is actually a journalist of sorts.
Yeah.
And for journalistic purposes, there is no problem, or shouldn't be, as far as I can see, with using logos and insignia and company names, provided that this is non-misleading and it's referential. So you're referencing a particular Airfix kit, for example, Lysander, shall we say, and to show that this is going to, that something is unfair use, I think, the company's going to have to do some fairly loud throat clearing, quite frankly, on the whole fair use thing. It's not the same as the American fair dealing, it's called in this country. Fair use is rather broader. But given the past collaboration that existed between Moss and the company, it makes the position, in my own view, and this is not a legal position, it makes the position really quite weak, to be honest. And they must do, and I've no doubt that Airfix's management team have, they've convinced themselves that this is the right thing to do, and they're guarding their brand and treating it like it's gold. There's nothing wrong with that, don't see any problem with that. But can they show that Moss has been a bad influence upon Airfix? I really don't think so. I'm not sure there's any way that they could do that. So I think, in some sense, despite the things I've said, we have to sort of pick the bones out of it and move on. And I think that's what you're very wisely doing. If I'm truthful, I think this is fair enough, you know. And
well, the thing is, the reason I'm doing it tonight, and I have had private member stream because I discussed it on a private members stream because the private members support me with money donations to continue with my channel, and I felt they should know what was happening. But like, you know, so after we've all talked amongst ourselves, but the idea is that, you know, I know Ethics and Chill's on my channel, and it's going to be hard to stop saying Ethics and Chill, I promise you. But then between us, we just call it Chill anyway, don't we? You can't, on Chill tonight, we're talking about this, that, you know. But, you know, you guys, you know, we're a group of us, and we love to talk about scale modeling and how much the price of a 3D print resin kit is these days. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What an exquisite kit it is.
It wasn't exquisite. Yeah, I know. I did feel it in my loins when I saw it. So,
Monday night chill.
Yeah. But, you know, it's, you know, we need to think of a new name. And there's been so many being sent to me. Some of them have been brilliant. As I said, it's very. I just think it was such a funny take, wasn't it? You know, when I just came out of my mouth with it one night, and I thought, I'm going to Ethics and Chill, and we all laughed. The group that was with us at the time, we all laughed about it, and we just decided to call it that. And I think Airfix, what I'm going to call is, the people before appreciated what they, you know, what we were doing, because the fact is that Airfix reached out to the community, and we had creator days. Hell, you know, like I keep telling people, I got an award. I was a content creator of 2022, and that is what's showing on the norm. If I do a generic thumbnail for Airfix and Chill, that was the award I was given. Gary Stuff got given one. You know, we all got given one, because Airfix, they said to us at the time, we know you don't like the word influencers, but you are, and we're going to use you. And that's what they did. And, you know, and the only thing I've ever said is that when I do my box reviews, I buy the kit like everybody else, and then 2 or 3 days later, Airfix will send me one for free. I then give that kit away. I don't sell. I've never sold anything that Airfix has given to me. I've given it to people that have reached out and said, or I actually pick people that you see it in the comments. You see, oh God, I love that kit, Moz, but it's just a bit too expensive. What's your email? You can have a copy. Here's one for you. And that's how I've done it. And I think if Airfix knew if I was selling these kits on, they would stop. But they never did. I used to give them away. I've got my copy, which I probably built or build. The rest gets given away. It's about the more you give back to the community is what it's all about. I freely receive, I freely give. And that's what I've tried to do. But like I said, Dale appreciated that there was a few of us talking about Airfix, and I think I was one of the positive ones, because I looked at it as more nostalgia. I was building these in the 90s and the 80s, and they're coming back around again. But whenever I do any review, whether it's Tamiya, Revell, Airfix, I look at a kit with a glass half full approach. So if there is a problem with the kit, I don't bitch slap and go, oh, look at this, quality control. I speak and I tell them there is a process. Give Revell a ring, give Airfix an email. You know, I'm going to take this back to the model shop I got this from so I can get a replacement part, because the Tamiya bit's missing. Very rare. It happens once, that's it. You've got to have that. And I think that because Dale and Brooke, what's she called? I think it was Brooke at the time, were so engaging. We were getting sent all the marketing information. This is coming in. Can you do something with this? Yeah, let me know. I think I'm the only person in the country who's got every single Airfix coin. You know what I mean? I collect them, you know, and I promote them. I was promoting the coin. promoting the
That-
membership club.
And
You
that
know,
shouldn't
so
stop.
yeah,
You should carry on collecting them. That's your personal collection.
exactly,
Phil.
and I will do, and I will do. So, but as I said, I don't know where this is going now, but we need a new name for the channel. So, I'm not going to lie, I am kind of leaning towards Extra Thin and Chill. I quite like that one.
I still like Revel and Relax because it has the same
Revel and
vibe.
Relax is a good one.
Yeah, because it has the same vibe as Airfix and Chill. Oh, a couple of other things. I've seen the Airfix Tribute Forum mentioned. Hello, ATFers, Spud Gun here. That's a shout out for them. Also, Kathleen Kennedy in Star Wars has mentioned somebody. George Lucas hands over the IP and she goes and ruins it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, we're not here to be. Like I said, there are people who still work for Hornby.
Yeah.
That I appreciate and want them to do well. But at my time now is come full circle, and I'm just going to embrace it all. So if Dale, if you're listening, Dale, if you've got some heli kits you want me to review, send them over, mate. I'll review them for you. Yeah.
I must say, I think that the fit between Dale and Tobias Della is very close. They both understand social media marketing and the importance of it, particularly in the hobby business. And I think, you know, good luck to Dale on that. I think, you know, it's absolutely absolutely a good thing to do. And you know, Hella and Happy is, I think someone mentioned. I'm not going to claim any responsibility for that. That's somebody else's good work, not mine. But you know, carry on. I think you know, good luck to Dale. I'll simply reflect that.
I don't think a lot of channels are going to have a problem. Review channels, I don't think are going to have a problem. The videos I make, which is box art model, box art and the model is the same video because someone's actually bought it and built it. So I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. I think there's a sort of a disconnect. The Airfix and Chill, but you can talk about just about everything within the modeling sphere. So it could be considered as a bit of a disconnect between the title and the subject.
There's nothing stopping us if like Hella or Ravel Ravel want to sponsor the channel, we could call it Ravel Relaxing with Ravel. And then we could call it because Dale's just texted me and just said you can share this. How about that's a hell of a kit? You can sponsor it. That's a hell of a kit, you know. Yeah, you know, I'm open to suggestions here, but the main focus is that this channel will always be talking about scale modeling, and we have really talked about the good side of it, the bad side of it, the politics of it. You know, we talk, you know, and you know, we're open to talk about things that really matter about scale modeling. And because we've got such a I play devil's advocate on here more than anyone, so I want to keep the conversation flowing. So I will say things that will probably trigger people, but it's, you know, to get to the answer, sometimes you need all these opinions and these views to get what we want to get to the end of, like, you know. So, you know, that's where we're at with it, really. And it's just the channel, this won't change, the titles will change, obviously, the name will change, and we'll take it from there. We'll still be talking about scale modeling. But anyway, I think really, I know Hella and Happiness, you know, nobody said, you know, photo etch and bitches sponsored by Mini Art, you know what I mean? You know, and things like that. You can Plas Talk's good. I like Plas Talk. That's very good. I like that one. But if you have any ideas, and to the panel as well, any ideas, let me know. It will be really, really good. So I think we should keep chilling the name somehow, but who knows? We'll move forwards. But anyway, we've done all that. We've done half an hour on that. I think I've said enough. Let's get back to discussing Dale's gone to Hella.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very, very, very well done to Dale. He's I had Hella on the I had Tobias do an interview with me off the cuff, talking about the new Peugeot GTI or 205 GTI. I've built the Ferguson tractor, and we were discussing, what Glow, because Glow 2B own Hella. I don't know whether they bought the. I'm still confused. I don't think they actually bought the brand. They were given it because they said, "Look, we're not going to make any money here. Do you want it?" And Glow 2B said, "Yeah, we'll give it a go." And they decided to do the things that they're doing. So, yeah, I think it's an exciting move. Anyone got any comments on that?
The only thing I've never liked about Hella is the box art. The only thing I've never liked about them.
I think he'll fit them well.
He has to pick the box art.
I think it's very European, the box art, but I think from what I can understand is that Hella went into administration in 2015 and was taken on by a company called Maped SA, and they injected several million euros into the business and updated quite a lot of the bits and pieces and made some changes with moulding and various businesses like this. So there was a very significant improvement in their sort of standing at that stage, but they didn't want to keep the business, and so they sold it to Glow 2B in about 2018. But when you think of what's happening here, from a broader point of view, this is Hella really putting their marker down in the marketplace, both in Europe and in the UK as well. I think Tobias was the forerunner to this when you had that interview with him, and it spoke very clearly to me of a long-term marketing plan to take more market share out of competitors, and we'll discuss that in a minute, in the UK. And I think that perfect time for Dale to be able to move there, and he can use all of his UK influence and contacts to be able to drive Hella's business forwards now. And I think they're so closely matched as a between Dale and Tobias and Hella themselves, or Glow 2B. Yeah, I think this is bound to be really pretty successful, quite frankly. And no one's said anything negative about it. I think there's every chance for this to go really well. So I mean, props to the pair of them for putting themselves together like that.
Yes, definitely.
You know? And it's funny how these things turn around, isn't it? Something that looks very negative at the start kind of turns out well in the end, as it were. But I look forward to seeing what Hella come to do in this country, because there are lots of opportunities, I think.
Yeah, I would say that because I spoke to Tobias before the interview and after the interview, and he did bring a little bit of excitement in his voice. He was excited about it, if you know what I mean. That they've got this idea. I think that they kind of played a bit of a blinder. If the paint is good enough, where they will release a kit as it on its own with decals in a box, or they will release it with the paints in the box as well. So one of the things I found difficult was we had a church fete up around the corner, and they asked if they got any prizes for the tombola, and I thought, I've got loads here of kits that I could give, but actually not with paints. So what I ended up doing, I gave them an SLS Artemis, I gave them the Saturn rocket, because they come with paints. I had a couple of Airfix Spitfires from the gift set ones. It was the Mark 9Cs, I think I got from, which was sold by the Model World, I think. I got a couple of them. There was a Churchill tank, and the which one was it? It's the orange one. Which one's the orange one that Airfix did as a starter set? The orange car, not the bomb bug. It's a starter set.
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. Is it Lamborghini? No, it was the Bugatti when it was orange. The Bugatti was orange. So I gave them to give away. But you know, if I wanted to give prizes, the paint would put. You know, how are they going to paint it? If you know what I mean. So I think Hella's got a little bit of a vision there of instead of just selling the model, you can buy it as a model set with the paints, the brushes, and the cement that's inside it. So, which is a good start.
Yeah.
But has anybody here built any Hella recently? Because I have.
Yeah,
I know
I
Luke has, because we both did that tractor, didn't we?
We did.
And
We had, but it was in an Airfix box.
Yeah.
I've got one of their diorama kits actually about 4 or 5 months ago, which is a sort of a broken down old building and so on. And started to put it together. Now I think it's quite an elderly moulding, but because it's a broken down old building, if the bits don't fit exactly together, it doesn't really matter that much, you know. But there's quite a lot to it, and you could create a very serviceable diorama out of it with a little bit of clay and various other bits and pieces, and it would look really good. You know, that kind of stuff I hadn't seen very much of it, to be honest with you. So yeah, I was quite impressed with that. It looked quite good, and you know, the straight mouldings of things like the telegraph posts were straight. You know, the detail was on the end of them. You know, 1 or 2 of the ends had broken off, but those little tiny ends where you've got sort of little pots for putting wires on and things, they're going to break off anyway, quite honestly, you know, and you're making a war diorama, so maybe one of the posts will be broken in half or whatever. So not unimpressive at all, you know. Did a good job, I think.
The AWACS is a very, very good kit. That kit they did bring out is very good. I think they brought out another one now, haven't they? It's got the anchor on the top. I think they brought that one out this is it last month, a new scheme for that. But yeah, it's I think that it took a while for them because they announced it, didn't they? It took about 2 years from when they announced it to when they released it. But I got a copy from Jadlam, and that's how I got in contact with Tobias, I think it was, and I thought it was a very, very good kit, very good kit. But these things take time as well, don't they? I'm assuming that we'll see Hella at Telford this year. I'm assuming that.
Well, I mean, there'll be.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
the list has been released, hasn't it?
Yeah. No. But I think that when it comes, Hella's has been very quiet. They've been releasing stuff, you know, the tooling and that, and then they've been doing the model sets. So apparently, yes, Hella will be at Telford this year.
All right, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Good. Yeah, that'd be really good. But I think it's a good fit if Dale and Hella work together and push the brand on with everything that's with the ideas that they have. We just need to see a little bit more coming from them. That's why I see it anyway. You got any thoughts, Luke? Because you liked that Ferguson, didn't you? You thought it was a good little build as well.
Well, I have many thoughts about this whole situation, the whole Airfix thing and the channel and blah blah blah. I'm not going to comment on that on your channel. I think I know the reason why, but that's not to be discussed on someone else's channel in a public way. But I will say, Airfix, if you want to come for me, then please do so, because my partner is an exceptional corporate lawyer and she will tie your lawyers in fucking nuts. Anyway, that's that aside. That is my opinion and mine alone, not Moz's.
That disclaimer's working well now, that one, isn't it?
My thoughts about Dale going to Hella.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely a positive thing.
Yeah.
However,
Oh,
I think people are in danger of expecting too much too soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Dale is not going to go to Hella and produce kits from Hella the quality that we saw towards the tail end of his time at Airfix.
Yeah.
They don't have the team in place yet.
Yeah.
They don't. But I would say within the next 5 years,
Yeah.
we're certainly going to see if Dale is allowed to do things Dale's way.
Yeah.
Then I think within 5 years, Hella is going to be one to watch. The same as towards, the last 2 or 3 years, probably, Airfix produced some fantastic kits.
Yeah.
Jaguar, Sea King, Spitfire, 109. All this stuff that was, just phenomenal from a brand that people had sort of discounted.
Yeah.
Me included. And I think Dale could do a similar thing, if not better, at Hella. But what Hella need to do is give Dale the freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And not expect that in 18 months, 24 months, we're going to see stuff like the 48 scale Jaguar. Stuff of that quality. It takes time. I think that Hella could absolutely, I personally, despite being a military modeler, I don't think Hella should go down that route.
Yeah.
I think they should specialize in 24 scale and move into the automotive, because that 205 GTI is a fantastic kit.
Yeah.
Automotive type kits, as well as the farming stuff, the tractors, the trailers, because they do that well now. So once, or if Dale casts his magic wand over that sort of stuff, rather than, let's be honest, Hella, their military stuff is a bit, it's not great in comparison to other manufacturers. So why not focus on your strengths? 24 scale stuff, automotive, etc., the farming stuff, the tractors, they're all good already. So with a little bit of fairy dust sprinkled on the top, they could be amazing. And no other manufacturer is doing them well. No one.
What I was trying to get at is that what I've seen from Hella already, there is a team in place, like Airfix had a team in place that were looking at what they could produce. So look at all the designers they've got there at FX. They've got Ethan, Pramjit, Matt was a designer. They had Chris. You had these people there designing these tools, and then you had a great marketing team to push these new toolings on. And I think that's what's lacking with Hella, because the last 3 kits that they have released have been cracking, but the marketing isn't there to bolster it, if you know what I mean. That Peugeot.
You need both.
Yeah, you need both. And that's what I'm trying to, I think, they'll have a vision for how to market the brand, and then the tools will come along that he can market, if you know what I mean. So like I'm saying, the Peugeot,
if Dale is given a good product,
with
his marketing and brand awareness and awareness of his customer base, he can do great things. The danger comes where I think a lot of people I've spoken to over the last week or so, or some people, the danger comes where the expectation is too high. Straight away. That's where the danger comes, because this stuff takes time. It takes time for these designers to produce a good quality kit. Once he has that, then Dale could sell ice to the Eskimos. It's that simple. So give him a good product, and I think within the next 5 years, if all that's in place, you will see Hella go from strength to strength.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to get. Is just I've said, I did my videos with Hella, and you had Tobias, who's I think Tobias is production. So you've got Dale as brand. See, this is the thing, but also I think Mark, I think I'm just trying to get my words out in the right way. The reason we look at Dale was because he was the one standing there with the flag going, look at this Spitfire, look at this Messerschmitt. And that's what you need in a brand, because each tooling will come. And if you can sell more of that particular tooling, you then have money for the next tooling and the next tooling, you see. And I think that's where, and this is where Revell went a bit, this is where Revell have started to really push now, because we didn't really hear of Revell in this country. Now they've employed Luke. Look at what they're doing with their marketing side of it. I think they're playing the ultimate gamble here. Whereas before you would have Airfix, Revell, Hella say, we're going to release this Stalwart or whatever, and it's going to come out in 5 months' time. Now you've got Revell saying, we're going to do a Harrier, come along for the journey with us. So hopefully now you're seeing over the next 18 months, you'll get the updates, you see what they're looking at, why things are being designed this way and that way. And at the end of the product, you should be that excited by it, you'll naturally buy it anyway. And I think that's why. But then that's what a brand manager is supposed to do, isn't it? It's to put the laser on the product that you want to sell. And I think that's why we, I knew Hella were doing good things. They're cleaning up tooling, and they've been doing it for the past 4 years. But they've not had anybody to actually shout about, look at us over here. Come on, look at this Peugeot 205.
And now they have.
And now they have. I didn't know about the Peugeot 205 until it was on the Jadlam website. Because Matt Jadlam said, have you seen this Peugeot 205? I said, no. He said, they're coming in a couple of weeks. Do you want one? I said, yeah. Put me on a pre-order. I'll buy one. And before you know it, I did a review on it. And then I spoke to Tobias. So, and then that's the thing that, and also with the brand guys, because they're forward facing, they hear what the scale modelers want, and they can then go back to the product guys and say, look, there's people here wanting a Ferret Scout. Why has no one done a Ferret Scout? Before you know it, 18 months, 2 years down the line, they've got a Ferret Scout. I don't know about the designers. I'd love to get a designer on here and hear what they've got to say for themselves. We've had designers from Airfix. I've not had Chris. I might hopefully get Luke and Chris on about the Harry at one point on Airfix and Chill one evening. But then, I'm not, I don't know about, but Hella have got a very good backlog of old tooling. I'll die on this hill that their 172nd Sherman that they were released 7 years ago is the best 172nd Sherman on the market. And I'll die on that hill. So I built it. It's beautiful. It's a cracking kit.
I think, there's Dale, as I've remarked before, was a brand director for a company in its home marketplace. Now, Hella's home marketplace is France and Europe more broadly. And I don't know what the brand perception is of Hella in Europe, in mainland Europe, because I don't live there and I'm not connected with it, and it would need someone out in modelling land there to tell me. But I would suspect that it has a reasonably high profile and probably does quite well. If we're to look at the number of different military kits it does of, you know, European air forces and armies and so on, there's a fair number. I think what we're likely to see, and we've heard one or two things about this in the immediacy, is a growing presence for that brand name in this country. So, you know, turning up at Telford and things like this, and we'll see more of that, which hopefully will lead to a greater presence to sale within not only the internet but in the bricks and mortar outlets as well. Because it's, I mean, as Brett will attest, it's what you sell in the shop that's most important. If you've got it in the shop, then somebody can walk out with it. So presence to sale is the most important key to turn the lock in you know, getting sales in this country.
Yeah.
I think Dale's perfectly capable of dealing with this, and I don't even know why I'm saying this if I'm addressing it to him, because he already knows this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to take time. Of course it will, but my suspicion is that they'll have a plan. He'll have an outline plan in his mind already, and they'll be discussing it every single day and refining it and making it better each and every time they talk about it, and listening to what people have to say. Because one of the things that Dale does is engage with folk, and he seems to be, you know, a highly pragmatic operator in that way. He goes out and he talks to people and he really listens to what they have to say, and then he takes that away and deals with it, which is you can't ask for better than that, quite honestly. So yeah, I mean, looking forward to seeing what they're going to do, and I will get one of those 172 Shermans just to have a look at it, to be honest with it, because I think, you know, if you see the best of them and forgive me, you see the worst of them, then you can make a better decision about what sort of a company they are, you know. And am I right in thinking there's something like 1,500 back molds in the back catalogue, something like that for Hella?
It's yeah. Well, yeah, because there's a lot of old crap there as well, to be fair. The same. Well, Luke's having the same trouble with Revell, isn't he? He's saying he's looking through the catalogue and going, "We can't release this again." You know, what Hella need is their own vintage classic range. Really, you know, that's what they need, I think, so that they can put out some of these. You know, if you think about some of the, you know, a lot of people say, "What about, you know, they do bikes and stuff like that?" You know, they're not the best, but there are people who have built them up, you know, and done a reasonably good job. I think Hobby Time's done a few Hella bikes and stuff over the years.
Oh, they were awful.
Yeah,
I built a few. The only Hella motorbike I've ever built was a Norton Commando, and that came in an Airfix box.
Yeah. But the thing is, that was, you know, the one advantage that Hella will have over Airfix now will be is the factories in Tron in France. So all the plastic is made in France. So you imagine that, you know, whereas before, so you've got Revell, you know, they can get a tool in, and if they've got a problem, they can nip over to Poland or wherever it is, and sort the problem out. Hella have got the same advantage. They can nip bloody camera. They can nip down to Tron in France and see what's going on in the factory. Whereas Airfix, you know, it's a long way to India to sort out a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a huge difference in between Airfix and Hella, which is, it strikes me from what you're saying, and I think this is correct, that Hella actually have their own manufacturing facility. So they have complete control over all of the process. Now, that's really important, particularly if you consider companies like Tamiya, for example. They own the whole of the process, which means they can govern quality absolutely across that process. I think that's a very useful thing, and is a very significant strength to some extent over, even if even over people who have third-party manufacturers that they operate or have operated with for years. There is still the fact that they don't own their own production facility.
Yeah.
That's a huge advantage for Heller. Again, I mean, I'm trying to line them up here, but there are many advantages that I see here.
Yeah, I totally buy that. Well, there's nothing stopping. I just think that there's advantages and disadvantages, isn't there? I think you've got all that. Yeah, just trying to process all that. To be fair.
Well, I mean, the other thing to say is that, I mean, we can argue that Heller's not particularly well known in the UK. Now, that can be said to be both an advantage and a disadvantage. It is, in fact, a positive advantage because, hey, you've got a target-rich environment.
Yeah.
There are lots of potentials there for you. If you are well known, well, you get the advantage of heavy brand loyalty and so on. If not so much, then it is a swings and roundabouts thing. But there's no reason why a number of bricks and mortar outlets ought not to be thinking, yeah, we might give Heller a chance because this guy who's involved now, and it paves the way. These sort of changes pave the way for changes in the marketplace, but they don't happen straight away, and you have to look hard to see what the effects of them are. So,
thanks there, Mikey. That's yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, very good, very good. So I'm just looking through the comments here. So there's some funny names coming through. That's what was making me quite laugh. Scale Fix and Chill, Kit Fix and Chill. Yeah. But I think all told, I think that it shows positivity, doesn't it? And I'm saying this from Revell, and to Heller as well. They've hired people that know the market. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just have to wait and see. Do you have a Heller in America, Brett?
Not really. I've been trying for years to get Heller in because they have such diverse stuff I think would sell. They're you said, farm equipment, their cars. I just ordered for myself off eBay a Heller 1959 Cadillac convertible. It's never been done in America. I didn't know they did it. So I think they would sell over here. And I think Dale would probably help bring them over here like he was when I talked to him about Airfix. The big three distributors over here cannot get Heller or do not get Heller because there's no push for it. But they have such interesting subjects I've tried for years and just couldn't get it.
Yeah. Well, maybe that will change now. Maybe, because Glow 2B is the biggest model distributor in Europe, isn't it?
I believe so. So.
So whether that was
here, I would. I'd love to have them here.
I wonder, maybe that's an area that they could tap into then. Maybe there may be a way around it. I see. The trouble is now is that trades and taxes and import duty and it is a minefield now, isn't it? For wherever you go, whether it's America, so like I said, Airfix had a plan. They're going to close their distribution center in America, get all the distributors themselves to buy the product, and then it all kind of went tits up with the trade tariffs and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, but the thing is, though, you've only got another 2 years, haven't you, of Trump administration, haven't you?
That's the hope.
And then would they then get rid of those tariffs? Do you think the next president in will probably get rid of those tariffs?
It depends on who it is. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know any government, especially if it's the other side, that would willingly toss away tax revenue. Because,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, once something's brought in, it's harder for them to get rid of than bringing it in.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Or whether they would just change the tariffs so that they would be cheaper to bring things in. I don't know. It's
It depends on who has the money and everything.
yeah. I
Getting
think
rid of
that's
Trump
right.
isn't going to be an instant change of anything. And some things will be worse and some things will be better. It just depends on you.
Mm. Glow2B will not start direct distribution in the USA. The company remains deeply committed to being a European-centric distributor, optimized entirely around its highly automated, robot-driven logistics. Yeah, but there's a difference between a distributor and being a scale model company. You would want your scale models in the markets that people are willing to purchase them for. Is that not fair? Is that not fair?
I've no idea how it works.
No. Yeah.
I
think-
would imagine it's like any other product.
Yeah.
really. That without, you can have the best product, doesn't matter what it is, you can have the best product, but without the correct logistical chain and without the correct marketing in other places, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
if the company vision is we want to be a European manufacturer, we want to be a European distributor, etc., then that's where their focus is. So the likelihood of them making significant investment, because that's what it would take to bring those products to the fore in North America. That's a big undertaking to bring any product into North America or South America or the Far East or wherever. Maybe that's not on their radar. Maybe if they're good enough, if the products are good enough and the range is good enough, like Brett said, if their automotive stuff is good enough and their farming stuff is good enough in Europe, then people will pay the tariffs for those subjects because they can't get them anywhere else. That's what will happen.
Totally agree with that.
And that's right, because the tariffs wouldn't be such a big deal if, along with it, we didn't badmouth countries so much.
Mm-hmm.
You could put the tariffs on them as long as you treated the countries fairly while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Respect.
They could always sell kits for reboxings.
You know, Brett's a classic example for himself, not for his business. He's just ordered that Cadillac that Helen made. Now, I can't imagine that by the time it gets to Brett's door, it's been a particularly cheap thing. By the time you factor in tariffs, postage, the cost of the kit, etc.,
Right.
but he wants it, so therefore he's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's as we've said many times, value and cost is down to the individual. How bad do they want it? And if they want it bad enough, they're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Well, in that case, I mean, you can argue then a good website and a centralized German logistic warehouse probably would do the job for you. You know,
Absolutely.
there's a gap between, you know, order and delivery, but, you know, people are willing to wait. So
Absolutely. And if people want it, they'll wait for it.
So I agree with Mr. Rifle there.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean, how long do people keep going back? How long did I'm not going to mention the word, but how long did people wait for that traction engine? How many people had it on pre-order? Because if they want it, they're willing to wait.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be, depending on your vision for your product, it doesn't need to be put your hand up, take it off the shelf, take it home on a Saturday morning. If people want it, if it's good enough and people want it, they'll wait and they'll pay the premium for it. They will.
Oh, there are plenty of examples of that in the world of scale modeling. You know, and we can look at DBMK for an excellent example of that, Katare for another one. You know, people are prepared to pay and they're prepared to wait. You know?
Absolutely.
Well, this isn't there? Didn't AIP Adventures in Plastic? Didn't they have an F4J Phantom 2? Is that right? That's been waiting now. They announced it 2 years ago, and people have pre-ordered that, and it hasn't arrived yet. But they want it in 148. Was it no 172nd? So, yeah. So I just had a message off Dale. Thank you everyone for their support. Luke is quite right. Change isn't going to happen overnight. It's a very small team, and limited budget and big ambitions. I am proud to have been asked to join the team and to have the trust instilled in me to take the brand to the next stages. They have some amazing projects on the go, which I'm looking forward to marketing in due course. But this is about the brand, the team, importantly, putting Hella in front of more customers.
And that's absolutely right. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
In this arena, you know, in the scale modeling world, to produce a good quality scale model kit with everything done correctly takes time. It's not an overnight thing by any stretch. But if it's good enough and you've got the right people in the right chair, it will come. And then Hella, as I said, will be one to watch.
Yeah.
Airfix, personally, I think for scale modelers is dead in the water because of the ethos of the people now in charge. Go to any model show, see how many flowers are on the display tables. There ain't many.
Yeah. Well, they're advertising for a new marketing executive on LinkedIn, and it's based in Warwick.
Yeah.
And I thought Airfix is based in Margate. But the advert's saying that, so I'm presuming that this transformation team isn't even based in Margate. They're based in Warwick. That's what the advert's saying, isn't it? So not even with the team that's developing these toolings and whatever.
Like Burnham moving number 10 to Manchester.
Hey! No politics.
What a
that's 20 quid in the pot there, Luke. That'll go towards my Ferrari fund. No. Yeah. I'm just excited, you know. It's that Harry that's getting me. I am absolutely bloody loving the updates from Revell with this Harrier. I'm watching it, and you see, Chris left Hornby. We didn't leave Hornby. He went self-employed, and then Luke went to Revell. Luke then, I remember Luke saying, I don't know, maybe was it privately or publicly? Well, I'm going to say it anyway. Luke went to Revell and said, "Oh, we want to do this Meteor," and he said, "Well, you doing the Meteor?" He says, "Well, you're doing the wrong one. You want to do a 9 or an 8." And then Chris then said, "Well, I need some work." Goes to work for Revell, and bang, they brought out this 1/32 scale Meteor, and it was bloody good. And now, and I think this is interesting, I've never heard of a company that, in my mind, I've never heard of a. When you hear of, oh, this kit's been, maybe it's done a lot, I don't know, but they've even split the build. So you've got Chris working on the fuselage and everything. Then you've got Horatio, who also worked for Airfix, who originally worked on those flowers. went to Revell, and now he's doing the engine for that Harrier. I'm excited for that Harrier. Is anybody else? I think it's going to be
Yeah.
bloody cool.
Absolutely.
I know it's not my subject matter, but I'm looking forward to it.
I reckon Jim will have a crack at building that as well, wouldn't you, Jim?
He's there
Yeah.
somewhere.
He's gone missing. Gone a bit of solo
He's,
LP.
He's gone to change his ice in front of his fan. That's what he's done. He's gone to fill up the bucket. He's gone to fill up the bucket.
The thing
Yeah.
is, in scale modeling,
Mm,
so Revell have released that 30-second scale meter,
yeah.
which is a fantastic piece of scale model engineering. So that is their legacy. They've created a legacy now. This is what we can do. Now what they're doing is creating this journey, and for want of a better word, they're creating hype around the Harrier project. Now, if they can produce a Harrier of any variant, any mark, to the same standard that they produce that Meteor, then, you know, the legacy continues. And then people are going to go, new tool, Revell 30-second aircraft. Yeah, I'll pre-order it.
Yeah.
Because they're proving that they can do it. And that's unfortunate at the moment. Hella don't really have that reputation. I would argue that if you're an automotive modeler, the 205 GTI probably created that because it was a fantastic car kit.
Yeah.
But once that plan comes to fruition, and once they start releasing this stuff, which, as Dale said, is not going to be a quick process because it isn't by its very nature, then all of a sudden you start to create this legacy. And then once you start doing that, the customers will come.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah. Dale Lucas probably plans to replicate his Airfix playbook at Hella by prioritizing deep community engagement, aggressive tooling, modernization, and highly visible digital media. But yeah, so that was the thing. When you went to a model show and Airfix was there, who was behind the table with the Airfix models?
Dale.
Tank Fest. I think they once went to Avon. They always go to the one up north, don't they? Don't Airfix go to what's it called?
Bolton.
Bolton. Didn't they go to Bolton a few times?
I've never seen an Airfix table at Bolton, I don't think.
Once they were there.
I thought they were there once. But and they're at Tank Fest, even though they don't do many tanks, but they were there at Tank Fest, showing off the models, the model shows. They go to Riat, don't they? They do a make and paint at Riat, don't they? Airfix did when Dale was there.
They did.
Key Model World, they went to that one, and Dale was there behind, promoting the brand. Others were there with him as well. Clint used to go. I think Matt went. Cleggy went. James used to go, but see, James has gone. Dale's right-hand man. He's gone. He's gone to fly drones.
Yeah, there you go. Bolton. Yeah, Airfix has been in Bolton the last two shows, but Dale wasn't there.
Dale wasn't there, was he? But they're there. They were
there. Yeah, the Tilb was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. Got a couple of Hella kits recently, and the sprues were wrapped in black tissue paper rather than plastic bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The last 4 Hella kits I've reviewed have come in that plastic, in that black tissue paper, but there's been no damage on those sprues. So you tell me.
Yep.
I think paper might be the way forwards. The only thing I wish that all model companies do, and Nigel will back me up on this, that they put foam around the clear parts. That's the only thing I would like to see more of, is that. So, yeah.
Every helikit I've ever built has always come in that black tissue paper, and I've never had a damaged part ever.
Yeah, I've never had a damaged one. Hi, Pramjit. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're well, my friend. Bless him. We went to boating in 2020. It was the last show before lockdown.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was the last time they went. So
6 years ago.
Yeah. So so I do you know what, mate? Because you got numbers at the end of your name there, it totally fooled me. I hope you're well, Pramjit, and you're designing really good stuff, mate. I hope it really works out for you. I don't mind the paper wrapping, actually. I like to see more sturdy boxes, though. Yeah. People saying hi to Pramjit. Distribution won't be a problem for Hella getting more kits into the UK. Plenty of boats coming every day. Yeah, definitely get that. Hella is using tissue paper. You swine. You swine. Honestly,
I get that one.
I'm gonna. No. Yeah, there's plenty of boats. Yeah. You know, when
Imagine
you say
or the helicopter under the arm and the life jacket.
I'm gonna be so careful now.
Can you take these to the UK with you as you go? Yeah.
Hang on. No. Let's not get political now, because we've already had this debate about when they released the lifeboat and the slack that the RNLI got. You know, a life is a life. End of.
Yeah.
You can't. You know, they're not there to decide the politics. They're there to rescue people. Honestly, Mike, why did you star that bloody comment? I wouldn't have said it, House, because I don't want to get political. Hella is using tissue paper cellular plastic kits as part of a massive environmental sustainability push introduced by Glue2B's ownership. Fair play. But also, Germany have some very strict rules on packaging. Because I sell eBay and I'm in the global shipping program, I think there's an added tax on what we ship that product in. If we ship that product in a poly mailer, you know, the bubble mailers, I think there's a tax on that. But if you send it in a cardboard box, and you use the paper tape, not the plastic tape, I think you don't pay so much tax or something on that. So, but yeah.
Wow.
They went 2 times after that, as well as I can be. Yeah. As I said, it'd be great to see you meet up again in Telford, my friend, if you are going. It'd be really good to see you. If you ever want to come on here and have a chat, you're always welcome as well. I didn't want to, you know, hopefully I'm not pissing Phil Flory off, because I think he's got you on his channel quite a bit. So fair play. Everyone's saying good evening to Pramjit. Paper is more environmentally friendly. Met Dale at the Scottish Model Show in Perth a few years ago. Top bloke. Appreciate that. Yeah. But that's what I mean. You would, you know, he will tell you that they never thought about doing a ferret scout until somebody mentioned it at a model show. And I may got this wrong, but I think it was Jonathan Mock who suggested it, or he mentioned it to Jonathan Mock. And no one's ever done one. Did Accurate Armor do one, a ferret scout?
Yeah, in a bigger scale.
35th, or was it 16th?
No, it's bigger, 16th or 24th.
Was it? So that, you know, and then they realized they've found this little vein of stuff that hasn't been tapped into. And we've got the Saracen, the Stalwart, which is really good kits. Has anybody started their Saracen yet?
No.
No, I haven't either. I don't think I've even. Have I done a review? I've done a review on it, but I've not actually built it. Because I'd say I've got one. I think I've. If you go onto the video, I've commented on the video. That's the Fairy Gannet. That's not the one. Yeah, I've commented on the video for the winner. So, but yeah, it will be. If you look in the comments, I've messaged the winner, and I'll send you that Saracen as a prize. Okay. Would be nice to come on, but don't get time looking after my dad. But hopefully, we'll get to go to Telford as a member of the public. It'll be great to see you again, my friend, and I hope you're enjoying all those chicken wings as well. They use paper to soak up the mode release agent. Yeah, that's another debate in itself. I think that Hella are cleaning up a lot of the tooling. Tobias said in his interview, if you want to go and look at that interview that I did with him, he said that one of the things they're finding is they're getting the tooling out and actually proper giving it a good clean and seeing if it's worth running it again. But the fella said the factory's in Trun, and I'd love to go over there and have a look. Anyone fancy and chill road trip out to Trun in France?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll come along.
Yeah, come along. We'll have a grand day out, shall we? We'll have a hella and chill, and have a weekend over in Trun, drink the wine, drink the beers and stuff, and the wines.
Didn't we have a lovely time the day we went to Trun?
Yeah.
And I get a
That's going
passport
back
for
a bit.
Yeah.
Was it Bangor no good anymore?
Yeah. Accurate Armor didn't do a big ferret. They were 1 to 35th scale, apparently, according to Terry Taylor. That is a boss name, Terry Taylor. That's a boss name. I like that. It's a good name. Is that your real name? If Hella do a 1/24th Bearcat, Moz will need an awful lot of paper in that box. I've already put my order in for a Bearcat. Hella haven't released agent in their kits for the last 5 to 6 years since the new management. Oh, I didn't know that. We still wash our kits anyway, don't we? History in plastic. Then why isn't boxes and briefs made of tissue? Oh, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Brett's going back to Normandy. Celtic West is in. We'll have a day trip down because you can catch the ferry from Bournemouth to the port there, and it's an hour and a half drive. It's a 7-hour ferry ride, and then you can drive from Bournemouth to wherever it is. They catch the ferry, and then drive for. And I think in my van, this is what got me when I went to. I thought, how much would it cost to take my van over to Trun? You know, so I looked on it, and it was £325 on the van to get across. Then it was £225 to get back, and I thought that's a bit expensive. And then I refreshed the page, and I lost it. I have to do it again. So I wrote it all in again. And the second time it was 350 to go across, and then it was minus 125 to get back.
Right?
So the total came to 225 quid. Work that one out.
Bonkers.
Yeah. France is close to Falaise in the heart of Normandy. So no wine, but cider and Calvados, boys.
What?
Calvados.
I'll just jump on a plane from here.
You just jump on a plane. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Easy.
It would be
get down to you guys.
But no, it would be interesting. Or catch the go over and catch the channel or the channel tunnel over, and then drive over to. So I think Dale's in Germany now. Actually, he's been driving to and fro from Germany, so it's not taking him too long. Pardon?
Take me a day to get down to you, then it'd be.
Yeah, you're far up north, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
It used to take me 24 hours to get to where I was in Germany, back to here when I was on leave in the army, and 24 hours to get back.
What were you cycling?
No, I was
saying
the car. little 900cc Seat 127.
Ah,
They're
there's your
not very
proper
fast.
There's the explanation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Call it the
Yeah,
Fred
it's-
Flintstone car.
thrashing
God.
thrashing the engine at 80 mile an hour down the autobahn.
Yeah.
What
you
car was it?
should,
A Fiat, what car was it? A Fiat 127?
Seat 127. It's the Spanish-built version. It's had 4 doors, but the
See it,
Fiat's had
yes.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
because I had my very first car was an S-Reg Fiat 127 in blue.
Yeah, mine was red.
It
Yeah,
had
you should have hired a proper car there, and then
yeah.
and then put your 127 in the boot just to use at weekends.
Yeah, cost me 1,000 mark, and I sold it for 1,000 mark.
I used
Those
to
were the days.
I used to come and leave on my bike, and I could do door to door in about 8 hours 40 minutes.
Mm,
What? Wow.
that's not bad. Is that with the blues and twos on? Was it, Luke?
No,
You
no
didn't
number
think of
plate.
that lights on the top.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to be able
I
to do
must
it.
say, Luke, your lack of precision I find disturbing. 8 hours and 4 minutes, no seconds. What's the matter with you?
8 hours 40 minutes.
40. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A second.
So Basil Bean has said the Hornby share price is lower than in 1986. Let me tell you a little story about Moz and his Hornby shares. So I bought some shares in Hornby, and they did go up a little bit. I didn't make a lot of money on them, and then they delisted them. Okay, so they've been taken off the stock exchange. I have shares in Hornby Hobbies that I can't trade anymore because the company that I use for my trading, they only ship portfolios. They don't just ship, or they don't remove, put shares off. You can trade them. It's not a black market, but another market, but you can't freely trade them anymore. So I've got, I think it's about 2,000 shares in Hornby Hobbies. So I thought that I would be able to, because I saw that they were delisting, and I was told that they would probably transfer my shares into Castanel, which is the company behind Phoenix Asset Management. But I didn't know this, but there was a time limit on it, so I couldn't transfer my shares from Hornby Hobbies to Castanel. So I have bought shares in Castanel just so that I can say that I've got shares in it, and I can see how the share, because when you got shares in it, you can see how they go up and down, if you know what I mean. They're not worth a lot, I don't think, anymore, But I bought I had some money. I had some money, so I transferred some and bought some shares in them just to build up my portfolio. But I do actually have shares in Hornby Hobbies that I don't know what they mean to me now. Originally, I could have traded with them, but I don't think I can now. I think they go on like another market, like JP White's or something like that. There's private and public shares and preferential ones, I think. It's called Castanel is the company that now is what they. I still think it's Phoenix Asset Management is the company, and the money side of it is Castanel. And a lot of the people now that are running Airfix are from Castanel, from other brands that Castanel are involved in. So, what's that? Sorry. It's pronounced Castle now, but it's called Castanel. Castle NAU. So buy shares in them. Buy some shares. They don't come up often. I think I had to wait a month before I was able to buy some. So yeah, definitely worth it. Right, over to the chat. Have you got any questions for the panel? We've got half hour to go. It's been a bit heavy tonight, to be fair. So we got anything fun to talk about? You got anything you want to talk about? Anything that's caught your eye? Put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. I've nearly finished the 135th Saracen. It is really a fantastic kit. Slight short shot on two of the suspension parts, but it doesn't stop you building the kit. To Boldly Go has said that he's had short shot, and you don't notice it until you build it. So what I do in my Saracen, I'll have a look at that in a minute, and I'll see if I got a short shot on mine. At the moment, I can't. My room is full of model kits. If you see behind me, I've got all these model kits as well. I'm absolutely inundated with model kits at the moment. There it is, there's the Saracen.
Yeah.
Let's have a look, shall we? See if we've got any short shot in it. Oh, by the way, the Junkers JU52 is on its way tonight to me. That's I got a notification saying that there's one on its way to me, so that'll be good. Where's the suspension parts? Short shot. Have I got short shot? Just looking now. Are you talking about? I'll get the camera up big a minute so you can see. Are you talking about? Are you talking about them ones there? These ones, are they short shot? They are. They are short shot. But I'll be buggered. Yeah, they're short shot. Are they? Yeah. Yeah, they're short shot. You're right. They are short shot. If I put it's up here, so can you see this? Can you see that on the end?
Yeah.
See the two little lugs, you know, and if I go on this one, they're short shot.
Will you ever see that?
No, but they're locating, aren't they? They locate in, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, so you got them two, and then you got this one. Are they short shot?
Probably worth looking at the instruction to see if those tabs on top are supposed to be on all of them.
Yeah. You think it would mirror the other side, wouldn't you? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not short shot. I'm just looking now. I don't. Yeah.
And do the instructions explain it well? That's the thing.
The instructions are very good for this. They're a little bit confusing, but yeah, they're yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely one of them. Whether I presume that's the bit that's missing, or that's the bit that's short shot. So, what conditioner does Luke use on his luscious hair? Eyes five eyes isn't watching. Is asking what conditioner he doesn't. He uses. He's got the he uses foam. Yeah, he uses foam, don't you, Luke?
That's his natural wave.
I moisturize my scalp with cocoa butter.
No, cocoa butter.
Coconut
It's not car wax.
Yeah.
For
Thanks,
the higher
Prime Jet.
luster shine?
Thanks, Prime Jet. Thanks for popping on, mate. Hopefully, I used to pronounce like that too. Yeah. So, thanks, Prime Jet. If you've got to go, someone's saying he's got to go. So, thanks for joining us. Anytime you want to pop on or give us a chat, have a chat with me, mate. I'm always open. Plenty of people in Hornby have my number. The amount of phone calls and stuff I get these days. So, but yeah. Sorry, was it answered before? What is the score with Outlaw Paint? Outlaw Paint does not exist anymore as Outlaw Paint. It's now called the Model Paint Company, MPC. Blokes bought the business. I can't justify bringing it across. If you want to buy Outlaw Paints, I've got them on eBay. So go on eBay, look it up. If you want to buy this postage, what I've said is that it says in the description, put it all in your basket, okay, what you want, and then request invoice or request total in the basket. And then I only charge you once postage, which is $4.99. If I can do it, it's 24-hour or it'll be 48. And if you mention Moz in the message, the guys there will pack it and they will give you an invoice and they'll probably give you 10% off the paint if you mention Moz in the if you do when you have request total, you have a little message area. Just say, can I have one shipping fee and a 10% discount because I mentioned Moz, and I'll make sure it's 10% knocked off the paint for you. Okay. Into the Saracen, the sides were warped but went together after a bit of fiddling. Fair enough. After removing the blue tack from a Vulcan, all the green paint has greasy marks. Is there any way of removing them? Never use blue tack. Use white tack.
Mhm.
White tack isn't greasy. Okay, so I think you can wash it out, or you can't use IPA, can you? Because it's paint.
It depends. It depends what paint you've used.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if you've used a lacquer, you might get away with soapy water.
White tack.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, if you've used a lacquer paint, you can use acrylic thinner because that won't make any difference to the paint. If you've used a water-based acrylic, yeah, like Mo said, water really, but just be very, very careful because acrylics don't bond like lacquers do.
Yeah, exactly.
The other option, not really, I suppose, if you've got residue. No, I'm talking rubbish.
The blue tack's up, done it.
So, are Airfix still responding to part replacement requests? They've changed what they've done. So, I only found this out yesterday, the day before. They've changed how they do it. So, let's get this right. So, there's a new team in town, okay? And they are changing things on Airfix all the time. And one of the things I think they've changed is that spares at airfix.com doesn't work. You have to go to repairs and returns. Now, I don't understand this word repair. All right. How do you repair what's it called? A sprue. I don't know, do they inject it with more plastic or something? I don't know. But you gotta do in a form. They call it, it's bizarre how it's spares or return. We just want the spare part. So if you get a kit and you've painted it and there's a damaged part to it, do you send it all over to them? Like, can you repair this for me, please? Doesn't sound right, does it?
How are they going to do that? They just say put a bit of glue on it.
Yeah, repairs and returns. It's not. It's spares. Spares is what it is. It's a spare part. We're not requesting a repair. We're requesting a spare. But yeah, I was told yesterday about it. Apparently, that there's they've done that.
Just they either charge you for a whole sprue or they just send you the. Well, yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So some of the things that they come out with is just so. It's so alien to scale modeling. I'm just saying.
If the kit's that bad, they send you a new one completely and just replace the old one.
Currently working on Spitfires for a movie project. Wow. And a Gloucester Javelin, but struggling to get an even metal underside coat. Does anyone in the panel have suggestions on how I can improve it? Jim, knock yourself out.
Well, first off, what paint are you using? I tend to lean towards the lacquer-based ones like Alclad.
Yeah.
You don't have to use a gloss black primer, but
you don't.
If you're going to do chrome, that's the one caveat that you need black for chrome. But I like using it anyway because depending on what you're spraying it on, because you're spraying it, if you use a gloss black primer, when you put your metal down, you're going to see right away and you're going to be able to see your coverages. So it just helps you in the paint application if you go with a black. So I'll always go black or gloss black on as a primer for metal. Make sure you're, as with any metal finish you're doing on any model, if the the plastic itself has to be immaculate, no scratches, and even fine abrasive scratches from a real fine, sanding stick or whatever. You're going to have to get those out, up to and including maybe a Tamiya polish or some type of plastic polish, because you want that plastic prepped perfectly smooth. So that's what, those are the basics with any like metal. Again, now here's the problem with using a gloss black. Let's say you polish your plastic and it's right. You can then go and do your metal. Okay, it might be a little bit harder to see, might take multiple colors or coats, excuse me. That's where the black helps you. The problem with using a black primer, that paint has to be now perfectly smooth. And if you have any kind of orange peel in your paint or any imperfection in your paint, because you're adding a layer, so you've done all this work on your plastic, do you really want to screw it up with another layer of black in between? That's up to you. So
temperature conditions as well.
So
it's hard. Metal hard, isn't it? The ultimate is foiling, isn't it, Jim?
Can be, but it can also be really rewarding when you pull it off. That looks good, so don't be discouraged. Go for it. Try it with a couple different techniques.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to go down the Alclad and gloss black, Jim's absolutely right. You need to make sure your plastic is as smooth it can be. So polish it, with a stick. Polish it so you get the plastic as good as it can possibly be. And then the way I would do it, Spencer Pollard also does it this way. Use LP11 straight onto bare plastic. That gives you a smooth metallic finish. Then if you want to, you can then, once it's cured and dry, you can then mask off certain panels to create some variation using either different metallics or using inks or oils or whatever to create the variation in the panels. Then a good gloss coat over the top if you choose to do that, which will give you that shiny metal finish if you're using it for a movie type project. But if you're not using it where it's going to be on camera, then avoid any sort of gloss coats because you will damage the metallic effect. Without a shadow of a doubt. That's you can spray that straight onto plastic and have a metallic effect. You can also get the same color in a wrap can.
Brilliant. Alex Moore, are you at the Helicopter Museum on Sunday, Moz? I am going to be there. So on the Sunday, the 12th of July, it's the North Somerset Modelers Society Model Show at the Helicopter Museum in Weston-super-Mare. I'll be there with the ISCA Scale Model Club showing off my models. I'll be there early. If you need anything from me, put it in an email and I'll bring it along if there's any kit that you are thinking of. I'm going to take some kits there to sell because I am slimming down my stash. I've had the guy come around and picked up quite a few bits from my Airfix collection, to be fair, which is quite nice. So I was coming right down now. I've got rid of a lot of stuff, and some of the posters went and everything, and I also got rid of a lot of the kits that I'm trying to keep to the baggies and the original box-ins as much as I can. So I'll be there. Let me just hide this comment a minute so you can see. There is a QR code there. Can I make this bigger? If I can make it bigger on screen. Make the QR code is up. That's crap, isn't it? So there's a QR code. Adults is £14, children £7. So you're paying the model, actually paying the actual museum for entry on that one. So it's a bit on the expensive side. But that's this Sunday coming. So I will be there with Iska. So you want to come and say hello and have a chat with me about scale modelling, about Hella, about Revell, Mini Art, Trumpeter, Academy. I'm running out of names now.
Fujimi.
Fujimi. Quintus Studios have just, I put it in my video, by the way. I've done my monthly roundup. If you've not seen, I know Quintus Studios is Russian or Kazakhstan or whatever. They're releasing an SU-31 and it looks fantastic. It's on my video if you want to go and watch that. It's fair play to them. Looks really nice. Let's go down enamel thinners. What other questions? Let's have a look. Any more questions? I use Vallejo metals, great for brush or airbrush, even without a black base coat. That's the that's the metal range that they do, isn't it? What's it called? There's a name for it, isn't there?
True Metal.
True Metal.
True Metal.
Yeah.
The problem with that is if you're then going to mask to pick out panels, etc., it's going to peel off.
Yeah, it's a wax, isn't it?
Yeah, and the other one they do, it comes in like a big bottle. I don't think I have any of it. I thrown it all away because it was problematic. Metal color, Vallejo metal color. There you go.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. That
it is. If you don't want to mask it,
does it come off? Does it easy? Does it?
Comes off very easy.
Oh dear. Well, just use spit then if you want to mask. Just put spit on it. That'll mask it enough. Darren Born 27. Born Darren. I used the contact link on the website for a replacement a couple of weeks ago. Got part of the sprue trimmed and sent out free of charge. Yeah. They are, the aftermarket guys are pretty, the after service guys are normally pretty good. It's just repairs. What's all that about? There'll be foiled metal finishes on show at the North Somerset Model Show today. Hi, Jared. You all right, my friend? Nice to see you. I'll be there, mate. I'll be there probably about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So let me in early if you can. And mine's bacon with brown sauce and the coffee decaf. No milk, no sugar, because I'm sweet enough. Yeah. And say hi to your beloved for me. She's
what is this nonsense you talk about decaf?
You got that in
decaf.
What is that?
Yeah, I got it. I'm decaf now. Yeah, I'm all decaf right the way through. Even my
Moss is high on life. Can't you see that?
I'm high on life.
We called it coffee bamboo curtain in the army.
Yeah, it's like alcohol-free beer, completely pointless.
Is it me? Because I'm driving all the time. I don't drink when I'm at a gig. If at the end of the night I'm packed up and they offer me a drink at the bar, I always go for 0% Heineken or whatever. They've got 0%.
Fair enough.
If you smell it, does it smell like weed?
Should do.
It smells of weed. It really does. It's
skunky, eh?
Yeah, that is the word. It smells like disgusting.
A lot of your IPAs are like that for me.
Yes.
I don't like IPAs.
Same.
Yeah, pot.
A little bit skunky, depending on what hop, what strain of hop they use. Yeah.
Mm.
Lox9 has said that I have seen people use clear gloss varnish as a base coat for metal coats.
That's I've heard of that too. Just make sure your base coat is compatible with whatever metallic you're using. So if you use I don't know if there's a water-based acrylic clear. I don't know. There might be one out there. I don't usually mess with water-based stuff, but if there were, and then you put down a lacquer metal, then you might have issues.
Yeah.
So make sure your two are compatible.
Yeah. Fair play. Right. And those 10 to 10. Any more questions quickly before we finish? Or shall we call it a night? Thanks everyone who's watched, by the way. There are videos, obviously. You can go and watch Zinner's video about the predicament I was in. Nigel's done an update and his thoughts on it. If you want to go and watch that, feel free to go and watch that. We will go away and talk about what we're going to call this live stream. There's been some really funny ones tonight as well. But if you've got some, just email me. And as I said, I am liking extra thin and chill. that seems to round up quite nice. Extra thin and chill. Anyone against that?
Not against it, but
no. We got to think of something.
As long as you don't get the chewing gum after you.
Or shall we call it air fixing and chill?
Grumpy old men.
Air fixing and chill. That sounds good. I like that.
I think the best logos or the best strap lines like this are 3 words, because it's easy for people to remember. So whatever and chill would work.
I think we have to keep. It's like when brands, they may change a logo, but they keep something in the logo that people still recognize, don't they? Yeah. So I just, I'll think on it. I'll have another couple of sleeps, because I've had poor. I was awake till like 5 this morning anyway, because I was watching the football last night. And I went on holiday, and the first night of my holiday, it was really shit. I was like, oh, I really don't need all this now. And I was, and then I think the funny thing is that I got sent the email, and then I had 3 phone calls from people who knew that this email had been sent, and they were really supportive, and they're saying, and it was just so nice about it. And then, and this week, I talk to my friends in the scale model community, and it always ends back on, what Airfix and what you're going to do in this. And I've heard it every single angle. And at the end of it, I just feel, and I'm a little bit at peace about it, saddened, but at peace. And then, because now I can just focus on other things and not worry, But again, it's the reason we do this stream is because of you guys in the chat, people who watch. We are current, so current affairs. We do touch the naughty stuff as well as the funny stuff and the serious stuff as well. And also it's about having a laugh as well. And we all have different opinions, different views, but at the end of the day, we all have that one main focus, and it's that we all enjoy scale modeling. Yes. And for me, scale modeling is my mental health medicine, really, because there's nothing better than a stressful day at work, or I haven't cleaned up my plate from the side and put it in the dishwasher, and I've had a bollocking for that. Come in here, shut the door, and just relax with a scale model, or talk to people whilst scale modeling. That's the point. Right, folks, I'm going to call it quits, like, so there's nothing else really much. I think we've pretty much hammered everything out. Again, no witch hunt here. If you're looking forward to that Junkers 52, it should be on your workbench tomorrow. Let me know how you get on with it. I'll do a review on it. I won't be building it yet, so I've still got 3 kits I want to crack on with. And hopefully in the future, Hella will release a Bearcat for me. Thanks all for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Monday. Take care all, and good night. Bye.